Hey there, it's Jim from CGC Sports Illustrated. It is unboxing video time. You know the rules. I know what these issues are. I do not know what the grades are. So you get my reaction, whether it's good, bad, indifferent, disgust, jubilation, whatever. You get my honest, real reaction because I'm seeing these grades for the first time as you're seeing these grades for the first time. 10 slabs in this box. What do I got? I got at least one that's not a I got two that's not a Sports Illustrated, but another magazine. There are a lot of first covers. 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4, 5 kind of first covers. I'll talk about one that's kind of, and a couple first pro covers too. So sit back, grab a drink, grab a snack. 10 slabs to go through. Let me make sure I do these so that I don't see them. They're not front to back. Okay, so a lot of people have been asking me what I thought about the Ken Golden documentary that's on Netflix. So if you haven't seen this, get that out of the way. There's a documentary on Netflix, 6-part series all about sports memorabilia collecting and Ken Golden and the Golden Auction House and that sort of stuff. So quick thought on that. Yeah, it's worth watching. You should go watch it. Yes, I think it's good for the sports memorabilia hobby as it exposes it to people that wouldn't have normally seen it. At one point on the initial release weekend, it was in Netflix's top 10, which is amazing that many people were interested in it. It was a little cheesy. I mean, it had kind of a Pawn Stars / Storage Wars vibe to it. There was obviously a lot of scripted dialogue, and a lot of it delivered poorly in a lot of instances. So it was more reality TV than it was documentary. My personal preference, I would have preferred more of a documentary style aspect of it. There were 2 Sports Illustrated appearances. One, the Dream Team Sports Illustrated cover from 1991, and the other one, which I would love to get my hands on, is Peyton Manning was in it, and Peyton brought with him his first Sports Illustrated cover from 1996. It was a subscription issue. It was his subscription issue, so it's got his name and his address when he was in college at Tennessee on there, and it says Peyton Manning. That's one subscription issue I would collect all day long. I thought that was cool. So the Ken Golden documentary, worth watching on Netflix if you haven't seen it. Okay, let's rock and roll. Kick some ass here on some awesome grades with these Sports Illustrated and other magazine covers. Got 10 of them to go. Let's start off. We need to start strong. I found if you start strong, it's a good indicator that it's going to be a good box. If you start with a dog, box tends to be a dog. That's that. 9.2 Larry Bird. Pretty strong. Larry Bird, 9.2. So this is Boston Battles Ahead. This came out on May 2nd, 1983. There's a 9.4. So close. There are now 3 9.2s and there's a 9.0. My projected on this was 9.4. That may have just been wishful thinking on my part, hoping that I could have a copy that was the highest graded, along with one of the 2 copies that were the highest graded. So this is Larry Bird's 7th Sports Illustrated cover. It's actually Dominique Wilkins' first Sports Illustrated cover, but actually Dominique's 2nd Sports Illustrated cover seems to be more collectible. It's just a much better shot of Dominique. He's on the cover all by himself. He's not sharing it with other athletes and that sort of stuff. But yeah, that's absolutely Dominique Wilkins there. Tree Rollins, Danny Ainge, Robert Parrish also on the cover there too. Rock solid Bird at 9.2. I'm going to got a lot of these, got 10, so I'm going to kind of whip through these, and if I got a story to tell, I'll tell, and if I don't, we're just going to move on to what's next, because if not, this is going to be a 40-minute video. Okay, 6.5, not great. Labeling, amazing. First Darth Vader Time magazine cover. So this is Time magazine and Darth Vader on the cover. I just thought this was really cool. I may be the only one. I may be the only one that thinks a Time magazine cover from 1980 with Darth Vader is cool and collectible, but who cares? So this is the first Darth Vader cover, his rookie cover on Time magazine. There is a 9.6 out there. We'd kill to have that one. There's a 7.5 and there's a 6.5, this one, and there's a couple of others. I projected this as a as a 7.5. And in looking at it, that was a very generous projection on my part. That really didn't have any business being this is a fair grade at 6.5. My projection was a lot of wishful thinking, which all of us, even me, I mean, I try to be as objective as possible. All of us think our issues are in better condition than what they are. It's just human nature. But I was a little bit more than generous on this one. So this came out on May 19th, 1980. Empire Strikes Back hit movie theaters and debuted 2 days later. So a very cool collectible. I was hoping I was going to get this in time for Star Wars Day, May 4th. May the 4th, but the box came back too late, so that would have been a fun social media post. Next year, May the 4th, you can anticipate. May the 4th, 2024. You'll see this on all my social media feeds. So first Darth Vader Time Magazine cover. Got the labeling on there and everything. I'm such a nerd sometimes. No, all the time I'm a nerd. Sometimes with crap like that, I'm an uber nerd, but that's all right. I don't have a problem with it. Okay, let's go. Yeah, that's a tougher grade than what I would have given it. My projection on that, I mean, I'm looking at this, and that's a harsh grade on this. But let's talk about it. So, just mentioned Peyton Manning in the intro to this video in the Ken Golden documentary. This is the copy of the issue that Peyton showed on that documentary. Now, his copy, like I said, was a subscription issue, but it was his subscription. It said Peyton Manning, had his address on there from when he was in college. This is obviously a newsstand issue, but this is Peyton's first cover. Came out on August 26th, 1996. There's one 9.8. There are three 9.6s. There are three 9.4s. I had this projected at a 9.0, so I missed my grading window on that I like to. As crazy as it sounds, Peyton Manning is almost more visible in retirement than he was when he was a player. He's got the Manning cast on Monday Night Football with Eli. He's got Omaha Productions. He was just in the Golden Auctions Netflix special. He's everywhere, it seems like, which is great for his collectability, and it absolutely matters. The more that athlete stays in the public eye after they retire, the better their collectability is just going to flat out be. 8.0 says first Peyton Manning Sports Illustrated cover. I love that issue. By the way, if you don't know, that's Archie Manning, his father. That's actually an image of his first Sports Illustrated cover that's on the bottom half there. I love how they did that, and it'll be interesting to see what their nephew Arch Manning does this year with Texas. He did not have the greatest spring game in the world, but what are you going to do? He's a freshman. All right, next up. Okay, pretty good. I'm actually very happy with this one because this is a tough cover to find in any condition. This is Wayne Gretzky. This is his second Sports Illustrated cover. I've talked about this before, and you see this as well with sports cards. Wayne Gretzky's first cover, everybody wants it. The prices for high grades are through the roof. So when you're a collector, especially if you're trying to make a run and you want to get all of Wayne Gretzky's Sports Illustrated covers, or you just want to collect some of them, if you can't afford that first cover, what generally happens is the second cover ends up being the most collectible. And we see that in sports cards a lot of times. We see that a lot of times in magazines as well. So this issue came out on February 15th, 1982. There is one 9.8. That one sold on Heritage Auctions a couple of years ago for, I think, upwards of $6 or $7 grand, if not more. There are three 9.6s. There are three 9.4s. I projected this as a 9.0, so spot on in my projection, and really great Wayne Gretzky cover there. Wayne Gretzky going great guns. Kind of a lame headline, but what are you gonna do? All right, next up. Yeah, this is that's okay. I'll take that one. Steve Young's first cover. This came out on January 18th, 1993. There are two 9.6s, two 9.4s, and there's a 9.2. I had this projected at 9.4. Missed my projection on that one. Not quite sure what the problem is, but this is a one that's tough to get in a high grade. All that black ink on the back. Very condition sensitive. Steve Young was always in Joe Montana's shadow, understandably, but you know what? He was a three-time Super Bowl winner, two-time MVP, Hall of Fame in 2001, crushes it as an analyst, and still in the public eye today. And a good-looking cover here. I mean, a really great-looking cover. You see him run the ball, number 8, Steve Young, 9.0. From January 18th, 1993, Steve Young first cover. Good-looking issue. Okay. I know what this issue is because I see the back. So this is a pretty iconic issue. I haven't owned this issue in a long time in any grade. It's fairly tough to come across a newsstand. There's a lot of subscription issues out there, not a lot of newsstand issues of this one, and this is a big dog. And this is where, I'm pretty much make or break in this whole box on this one issue right here. So let's rock and roll and let's hit it. Yeah, that's fair. I projected a 9.0 on this, but the back has got color problems, and this is why there's so few of these. All that dark ink on the back, and you can see it's all been rubbed off there. Kind of a bummer, but still a great cover. So this is Tiger Woods' first cover. This came out on October 28th, 1996. There are only 7 9.8s. That's it. On a big goat cover. There are 11 9.6s, 17 9.4s. Like I said, projected this at 9.0. I did own this at 9.6 at one point in time. Don't own that one anymore. Top modern covers. You can talk about the 2002 LeBron, the 98 Kobe, 2019 Mahomes. All of those. This one's up there with them. And all of those that I just listed, the pop reports on the 9.8s are much higher than this. So this is a very collectible issue at a high grade, collectible in any grade, uber collectible in a high grade, and there's just very few 9.8s of this issue. Tiger, first cover, 96. All right, gotta save the box. Need some high grades. Need to pop some fun stuff here. Oh, now that's a nice one. That's a nice grade. That is beautiful. That's fantastic. Shaquille O'Neal. First Sports Illustrated cover, January 21st, 1991. There is one 9.6. And 9.4 is a fair grade on this one. There are now 3 9.4s. Let's do this again. There's a 9.6, there are 3 9.4s, there are 3 9.2s. My projected on this was 9.2, so always good to get a little bit better than what I thought it would be. Shaq played 3 seasons at LSU, which, by today's one-and-done standards is, absolutely unheard of. Averaged 21 points and 13 rebounds during his career at LSU, drafted number 1 overall in 1992. And if you remember, the 1992 Upper Deck Basketball Series, the number 1 pick card was a redemption card because they produced the cards before the draft. And even though everybody knew Shaq was going to go number 1, they produced the cards before the draft. And so if you opened up a pack of 92 Upper Deck Basketball and had that, you got your redemption. And it said, send this back into Upper Deck and you'll get a copy of the, first draft picks card. And it ended up being Shaq's. And I think, even though I was collecting sports cards like crazy back then, I think I only got 1 or 2 of those redemption cards out of all the packs I opened. Love it. Great. Definitely makes up for some of those softer grades. Shaq, first cover, 9.4. Super collectible. Love that. Super collectible in that grade. Really tough to get a high grade in that one. Okay, what's next? Another really good one out there. Okay, so this is LeBron James. This is his first pro cover. By the way, says that on the labeling. First cover as a professional. Came out on October 27th, 2003. There are only 7 9.8s. Now get ready for these pop reports. There's 7 9.8s. There are 33 9.6s. 27 9.4s. Tells you when you only have a tiny number of 9.8s and a huge number of 9.6s and 9.4s, what that says to me is it's very condition sensitive, and it is. Lots of dark ink on the back, lots of dark ink on the front, especially along the spine. This is also a very thick cover. So something, if you're looking to buy this raw, always check the staples, because the problem with thick covers are it puts a lot of pressure on those staples and you end up getting little tears on the cover right there by the staple line. So something to keep an eye out for on this. This issue hit newsstands 2 days before his first pro game with the Cavaliers versus the Kings. He finished that game with 25 points and led all scorers. LeBron James, first pro cover from 2003 at a beautiful 9.4. All right, this box is just heating up. This is just heating up. Now it's time where we're popping the high grades. We started soft. The high grades have been showing up later in the box. I got 2 left. 2 left, and these are big ones here. I need some awesome grades on these. So let's do it. 9.2. It's okay. Seems better than a 9.2 for sure, but I'll take it. So this is Kobe Bryant. This is Kobe versus Kidd. I do not see these very often. This is a very rare Kobe Bryant issue. It's not a variant issue, but I just don't see many copies of this, either raw or graded. Came out on June 10th, 2002. There is one 9.8. There are 3 9.4s, and now there's one 9.2, and there's some other graded out there. But there's only 5 copies of this that have been graded. That's it. This issue came out during the 2002 NBA Finals. Lakers swept the Nets 4-0 over the Nets and the Jason Kidd. Shaq with the Lakers was the MVP. This was the three-peat for the Lakers when they won that title there in 2002. That was a three-peat for them. I projected this at a 9.6. So definitely looks like a tough grade on that. All right, let's finish strong. Last one in the box. This is not a Sports Illustrated, but also it's one I really enjoy and I love. And I won't say any more and spoil it. We'll just take a look. It's a tough grade too. My projection was 9.4 on this one. 9.0, Michael Jordan. So this is the MJ We Never Knew Newsweek cover. This came out on January 25th, 1999. There's one 9.8, there's a 9.6, there's a 9.4, and now there's a 9.0. Jordan was on 4 Newsweek covers. This was his 4th Newsweek cover, and it came out just after his 2nd retirement when he retired in 1998, and this one came out in January of 1999. So decent grade at 9.0. I'm exhausted after that box. That box ran the gamut from some total disaster grades to some absolutely spectacular grades, and then some kind of in the middle. Guess I can't complain about that. Got a little something for everybody there. Really appreciate you watching. Check me out on social media. Subscribe here on YouTube, and we'll do another unboxing video again real soon. Thanks a lot.